Festivals and popular devotion. The living celebration of Shiva. Devotion to Shiva is not limited to ancient texts, sacred statues, or the meditations of yogis. It comes alive every day in the hearts of millions of devotees through rituals, festivals, chants, and pilgrimages that punctuate the Hindu religious year. Faith in Shiva is deeply rooted in Indian popular culture, and it even extends beyond the borders of the subcontinent to reach Hindu communities around the world. Mahashivaratri, the sacred night of Shiva. Of all the festivals dedicated to Shiva, Mahashivaratri, the great night of Shiva, is undoubtedly the most important and emblematic. This celebration takes place every year on the 14th day of the waning moon in the month of Phalguna, February-March. It symbolizes the cosmic moment when Shiva performs his dance of creation and destruction, or, according to other legends, the night of his marriage to Parvati. During this sacred night, Shiva's temples remain open, illuminated, and filled with worshippers in prayer. Thousands, even millions, of people fast, chant mantras, and pour milk, honey, water, or ghee-clarified butter over the lingams, symbolic representations of Shiva. Devotees stay up all night in a spirit of meditation and purification, as this vigil is believed to help burn negative karma and advance on the path to spiritual liberation. The month of Shravan, the season of devotion. Another very special time in the Hindu calendar is the month of Shravan, July-August, considered Shiva's favorite month. During this period, Mondays, called Shravan Samvar, are particularly holy. Many devotees observe strict fasts and visit temples to offer sacred water, milk, bell, or bilva leaves and flowers. Each offering is an act of faith and a symbol of purity, renunciation, and gratitude to Lord Shiva. During Shravan, thousands of pilgrims, called Kanwariyas, walk long distances to carry water from the Ganges River to Shiva temples. This often grueling spiritual journey is performed as a form of penance and extreme devotion. The great temples, places of faith and pilgrimage. Temples dedicated to Shiva are among the oldest and most frequented in India. Kedarnath, nestled in the Himalayas, is one of the holiest. Kashi Vishwanath in Varanasi is considered one of the most powerful centers of spiritual energy. Amarnath, accessible only after a hike in the Kashmir hills, is home to an ice lingam that forms naturally each year. These places are not just tourist destinations. They are experienced as portals between the material and spiritual worlds, where devotees come to seek guidance, healing, blessings, and deliverance. Mantras, the inner call. At the heart of devotion is also the recitation of sacred mantras, particularly the famous Om Namah Shivaya. This mantra, which means I bow to Shiva, or I pay homage to the Supreme Consciousness, is one of the most powerful in the entire Hindu tradition. Its repetition, aloud or silently, allows the devotee to connect with the divine vibration of Shiva, calm the mind, and elevate consciousness. In many Hindu homes, this chant is used to begin the day, or during meditations, rituals, or simply to calm the thoughts and center oneself. A living faith, rooted in everyday life. Devotion to Shiva is therefore not just a religious practice. It is a daily experience, an intimate bond between the faithful and the divine, manifested in simple gestures or grandiose rituals. Whether through festivals, pilgrimages, offerings, or chants, the relationship with Shiva is always alive, direct, and accessible. It transcends castes, regions, languages, and ages, bringing together millions of hearts in a shared vibration of love, respect, and inner transformation. And this is perhaps one of the greatest mysteries of Shiva, to be both the cosmic god beyond time and the silent companion of each person's heart. Shiva's spiritual message, a path of transformation and freedom. In Hinduism, Shiva is not just a mythological god, a cosmic figure, or an icon venerated in temples. He is above all a spiritual master, a living symbol of inner transformation and ultimate freedom. His message, both simple and profound, continues to inspire those seeking to free themselves from the illusions of the material world and achieve a state of peace, truth, and higher consciousness. Destruction as rebirth. One of Shiva's most celebrated roles is that of destroyer, within the Hindu Trinity, along with Brahma the creator and Vishnu the preserver. But this destruction is not negative or violent in a spiritual vision. It symbolizes the necessary passage to enable transformation, renewal, and evolution. Shiva destroys ignorance, ego, excessive desires, attachments, and all forms of suffering that prevent the soul from accessing freedom. It reminds us that everything in life is impermanent: bodies, possessions, relationships, thoughts, and that we must learn to let go in order to grow. Like fire that consumes old wood to make way for light, Shivaic destruction is a purification. Ashes, symbol of detachment. The image of Shiva covered in ashes, vibhuti, is one of the most powerful on a spiritual level. It reminds us that everything ends in dust, beauty, wealth, glory. These ashes represent the reality of impermanence and the importance of detachment in the spiritual journey. By covering himself with ashes, Shiva teaches us that peace lies not in accumulation, but in stripping away. Freeing ourselves from the superfluous, the ego, and rigid identities opens the door to a richer, freer, and more authentic inner life. The third eye, inner vision. Another fundamental symbol, Shiva's third eye, located in the center of his forehead. This is not a physical eye, but a spiritual one, capable of seeing beyond appearances, illusions, and the limitations of the material world. This eye represents supreme wisdom, direct knowledge of reality. When open, this gaze burns away illusion, maya, and reveals hidden truth. It invites each person to develop inner vision, to perceive the world with clarity, lucidity, and discernment. It is an invitation to awaken consciousness, to emerge from mental darkness and access the light of truth. Yoga and meditation, the path to self. Shiva is considered the supreme master of yoga, Adi Yogi. He is often depicted in a meditation posture, perfectly still, anchored in inner silence. This image shows that true peace does not come from the outside, but from inner harmony. Through the practice of yoga, meditation, and mental discipline, Shiva shows us the path to self-mastery, emotional stability, and the realization of the true self, Atman. He teaches us that human beings can overcome their limitations, their restlessness, their fears, and reconnect with the divine essence that resides within each of us. A path of inner transformation. Basically, Shiva's spiritual message is an invitation to be reborn internally, to symbolically die to what we are not, our fears, our attachments, our illusions, in order to be reborn to our essential truth. He shows us that even in chaos, destruction, or solitude, there exists a space of calm, silence, and pure consciousness. Shiva does not ask us to believe in him blindly. He invites us to experiment for ourselves, to meditate, to observe, to transform ourselves. He is the inner guide, the voice of detachment, the breath of freedom. Inspiring conclusion. Shiva, master of transformation and eternal life. Shiva is not simply another god in the vast Hindu pantheon. He is a mysterious and profound force, a powerful energy that embodies the very paradoxes of existence. He is both the destroyer and the creator, the one who puts an end to the old to allow the new to be born. He is also the silent sage, the master of yoga and meditation, the cosmic dancer who sets the rhythm of the entire universe. Through his many symbols, be it the trident, the serpent, the third eye, or the Shiva lingam, Shiva invites us to a deeper understanding of life and transformation. He teaches us that destruction is never an act of gratuitous violence, but an indispensable step, a necessary purification to make way for growth, rebirth, and light. In our own lives, we often face changes, losses, moments when what was once familiar disappears. Shiva, through his message, reminds us that these difficult times are not the end, but the beginning of a new cycle, an opportunity to free ourselves from the shackles of the past and embrace a richer, more enlightened future. His duality is fascinating. Both a retired ascetic and a family man, Shiva shows that spirituality is not about fleeing the world, but about finding balance between the different dimensions of our existence. He teaches us to live fully, mindfully, in both inner peace and righteous action. Shiva's third eye symbolizes this ability to see beyond appearances, to discern the truth behind illusions, to cultivate a wisdom that transcends the ego and superficial desires. His ash-covered body invites us to meditate on the ephemeral nature of material life, to develop detachment without renouncing love or compassion. Shiva's dance, the famous Tandava, is a powerful metaphor. Life is movement, change, a perpetual flux where each end heralds a new beginning. It is an invitation to dance with life, to accept its cycles, its rhythms, and to rise above our fears. By meditating on Shiva, we can discover within ourselves this divine energy that calls for transformation, for rebirth. Shiva is this inner force that pushes us to surpass our limits, to transcend our suffering, to open ourselves to a universal consciousness and unconditional love. In short, Shiva is the eternal dance of life, where everything ends only to begin again. He is a timeless spiritual guide, a beacon for those seeking to understand the deeper meaning of their existence and awaken to a greater reality. So, the next time you hear about Shiva, remember that he is not just a distant god, but also an energy present within you, an invitation to transform yourself, to be reborn, and to fully embrace life in all its forms. Thank you for watching this video and for sharing this fascinating journey into the heart of the figure of Shiva. If you enjoyed this exploration, please subscribe, leave a comment, and discover other fascinating stories about the deities and spirituality of India. The wisdom of these ancient traditions can still illuminate our modern world, and each discovery is a step toward a richer, more conscious life.